ways that you can detox during your period, during your cycle, right? What is that? Is that a thing? Is that a thing that we can do? Absolutely, right? Caveat here, we want to make sure we're being gentle with your system. Don't want to do too much, too fast, too soon here. One of the big mistakes that I see a lot of gals make is that when you're really ready to jump in, dive in, make a health change, you're really cannonball into the deep end. Yep, that can leave sort of a negative splash. So we want to make sure your system is ready. I'm Dr. Beth Westy, women's health and hormone expert, author of the books The Female Fat Solution and The Female Menopause Solution. These are on Amazon, where you can learn all about how to eat for your hormones and your cycle and more. I'm also host of the podcast, The Female Health Solution. You can subscribe to that, and I do have an episode about this as well, where I deep dive even more. And subscribe there, as well as subscribe to me on YouTube here. Subscribe to my channel, whatever, the thing. And that way you stay updated on all the videos I have coming out. When we talk about this and detoxing, I get this question a lot from people who are like, I feel like garbage. I feel so weighed down. I feel so puffy. I feel so heavy. Right? I need a detox, right? So one of the first things that I want to start with here is making sure we know where your system's at before we start with anything. So I do recommend using a Dutch test. You can go below this video, click the link, learn more about Dutch testing and how helpful it can be to have a great Dutch test that tells you what your hormone levels are now and the best next steps for you. How heavy do you have to do a detox, or are there other things that would be involved, right? So it's really important that we're doing that. Now, before I talk about anything else as well, first thing you need to realize is that part of having your period is also detoxifying your system naturally, right? That endometrial lining is shedding all of the things. It's a turnover overall for your system. Great. Our body does that naturally. Our body has a lot of natural detox processes already built in. Here's where it gets to be kind of tough for people is if you are somebody who just genetically you don't detox well, and maybe you've not had genetic testing and you don't know, right? I've had genetic testing done. I'm one of those lucky people who does not detox very well. I also have other inflammatory markers, and I do not methylate well either. Great. Methylation is a really big important piece in detoxification, especially when we're talking about hormones. So when we're doing this detox phase here, and this is already happening, sometimes people are like, yeah, I really want to encourage this to happen more. Some of these pathways are open. Let's just open the floodgates so I can feel really great after my cycle is over. Okay, all right. So here are some things to consider. First thing to make sure we're doing is that we're having enough minerals and nutrients. And you might be looking at this and saying, hello, that doesn't make my body detox. Oh, but it does, because your body's natural detox processes need help. But during this time, it's really helpful that you're giving your system enough of the nutrients it needs to do the process it's designed to do as well as it can. Yay! So that's one of the big things there, honestly. You can just make sure you're getting nutrient dense foods, all of that. You can add in some supplements or, powders, some things like that as well. Great. Whatever works into your schedule, budget, all of that stuff. The next thing that I like to think about here, besides minerals and nutrients and helping your body detox naturally, again, on its own, is making sure we're working with your gut health, liver and gut. So I'm going to put gut and liver. One of my favorite things for this is I actually have a detox support supplement here. Ingredients. There's zinc, choline, milk thistle, beetroot. Beetroot is really, really important as like a biotoxin binder. Artichoke, dandelion, chicory, yarrow. All very, these are all gentle liver detoxers. Liver and gut is what we're focused on here. This is your fat soluble pathway for hormones. So if you are not having your gut function well, and there are a lot of gals who actually will talk about having, period poops, where right before or right during your period starts that you will get like looser stools or diarrhea, something like that. And you're like, why is my stomach so different? That is your liver and gut changing its function to help move that excess hormone through, right? When your period starts, there's a big shift in hormone. That elevated progesterone level drops, and then estrogen also is at its lowest. When you're on your period, you actually have the lowest amount of estrogen and progesterone at that point as you do throughout the entire cycle, usually days 1 through 3, approximately. That's a huge shift in hormone in a very short span of time. Your body's way of naturally dealing with that is making sure things are shuttled out of the gut quickly. So we want to support that in happening. And again, this does not mean to do a crazy like colon cleanse or anything like that. Just gently supporting this. There are sometimes people who just drink dandelion tea. Super. Right? Support your gut health overall. And if you need other help with gut, just let me know. But this is something to really target. The last thing that we're going to talk about here is your lymph. Now, this is the water-soluble pathway that we're targeting here for your system and that hormone shift. Fat-soluble, water-soluble pathways, the two pathways that your body processes things out. Again, this is the natural system that your body has built in. We're just going to help it out. How do you get your lymph moving? How does that happen? One of my favorite ways, dry brushing. I've done other videos where I talk about dry brushing, but this is a great way to get that lymph moving. You can also do rebounding, get a lymphatic drainage massage, lots of stuff, right? There's lots of things you can do, but do something where you are focused on getting that lymph moving. So these are the top 3 things. Make sure your body has enough mineral and nutrient. Make sure your liver and gut are doing really well. And if there are certain foods that irritate your gut, try and avoid them at this time. Things like that. And then get that lymph moving. Really helpful to clear that hormone out, regulate your body where it should be at that point, and go from there. So that's what I got for you guys. Please let me know if you have any other questions. But if you're also wondering if there's any other hormonal things that you should be focused on, remember, Dutch Test tells us so much information about your body and everything else. You don't want to miss out on this. So go below this video, click that link. And then again, if I missed something or you have any other questions, don't hesitate to either leave a comment or reach out to me if you're not comfortable leaving a comment.